Hey everyone, how's it going? So what we did in the last video was make this nav bar. We added the icons at least. So what we're going to do now is add some style to this because it doesn't really look very good right now. In fact, it looks pretty ugly if I'm honest. So let's go ahead and style that. So I'll right click, I'll click inspect, and let's add some style in the browser like this so we can see our changes live. The first thing we'll do is style this nav bar. So what I'm going to do, in fact, no, we're going to get rid of this red background first. I'm really tired of seeing that. So what I'll do is I can go to the CSS file directly in the sources tab, or I can just find the element right here. So I click on the nav one, and then I can find that style in this part, which I see right there, and I can just delete it or get rid of it. It's entirely up to you. But like I said, if you want to go to the sources page right here, you should be able to see it. If the file is not open, just press Command P or Control P if you're on a Windows computer and type in main.css and you should find it. So I'll get rid of the red background one. We don't want that. In fact, we do want to still style the nav. So what I'll actually do is write that again. So nav, and then inside there, what we're going to do is start by saying display flex. Okay, so we've got a flex display. Then we want them to be stacked on top of each other. So we'll say flex direction is going to be column. Because like I said, flex direction column means they are positioned in the same column. We'll then say align dash items is going to be flex end. That's a flex property which basically puts them at the end of the row. And then the last thing we're going to do is just say height is going to be 100% because we want this navigation bar to take up the whole height of the page. So there's a navigation bar. We've styled that. That's all we need to do for the actual nav element. All the rest of the style will be applied to the items inside the nav element. So what I'll do is just copy this real quick, go back to my page, my CSS file, and just replace the contents with that. Because remember, until I do that, if I refresh the page, the changes will go away. So it's good to keep saving your progress so you don't accidentally lose anything. The amount of times I've accidentally refreshed the page or accidentally clicked a link somewhere and lost all the stuff I've been doing, it's really irritating. So don't do that. All right, the next thing we'll style are the anchor tags inside the A tag. So type in nav and then A, and this will be applied to all the anchor tags inside of the nav element. And what I'll do is actually go back to the elements tab and style it from here because if I scroll up, the autocomplete is a lot better from this panel than it is writing it directly in the file like we have been doing. So anyway, so what we'll do is we'll start by saying display block. This means that these anchor tags will be the only elements on this line. Nothing else can be pushed up alongside it at all. I don't remember why we need this. It's in my notes that I'm copying, so it's there, but I don't remember off the top of my head exactly why we're adding this, but we're going to add it anyway. Hopefully that'll save us some problem further down the line. Maybe I needed to add it for some reason, but they usually default to that anyway, so it probably won't make a difference having that. But anyway, we're then going to say padding is going to be 10 pixels. Okay, it's already moving around. What I'll do is move this across. Hopefully you'll be able to see this a little bit easier. And I'll resize this, so that might be better for you. Yeah, that'll do. So keep an eye on the nav bar. Let's make them a little bit bigger. We'll say font size is going to be, let's say 30 pixels. So there we go, looking a bit bigger. We'll make the width of the items 55 pixels. So different icons can be different sizes. So what we want to do to combat that is hard code a size that it will always make sure it stays as. So the width is 55 pixels, but we'll do the same for the height. So height 55 pixels. Now I can see that these aren't positioned quite centered. It might be hard to spot, but if I get rid of the width, you'll see how they all shift around, so they're not actually quite centered. So I'm just enabling and disabling the width property. So what we're going to do is center those. Now the easiest way to center things in CSS is to use a display flex. And I can see straight away that we don't need this anymore because we can't set the display property twice. So I don't know why I've got display block in my notes. So just make sure we get rid of that. We don't need that. I mean, you could leave it in there. This is already overriding it, so it wouldn't make any difference. But anyway, we've got display flex on that. We've got align items as center. And then we're going to do the same thing for justify content, which is also going to be set to center. Now, you should see that they have been centered. Now, it's hard to tell what it's done, but if I get rid of display flex, you'll see it. If I get rid of display flex, you'll see that they're all shifted all over the place. Look at the magnifying glass where it is in the box. Now, they're not quite in the center, but if I enable display flex again, it applies these two lines, and you can see they are centered. If I hover over each one, you'll see the icons are in the middle. Okay? So, yep, that's good. Let's go ahead and copy that. So I'll copy all that again, and I'll go and paste that in my CSS file. And we are going to set the color of these to be different to that, but I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video.